Welcome back, besties. It's me, Kat Kubo, coming to you with Lego Mage again. One more day of NASA today. Lego, how are you doing?
I am doing great. And looking at the matchup we have today, this series, we got Core Requiem versus Chikara Chatting with Shianzu subbed in. I think we're looking to see a pretty epic duel of the fates here. But yeah, both these teams looking to sit at pretty strong playoff contentions right now, both 4-2. So they're both looking pretty solid, and obviously coming off of this series, one team will be going up to 5-2, which would be very, very great to see. And yeah, with this little bit of a roster shakeup from Chikara Chatting, I'm sure we're in for a treat. Shianzu always puts on a show for us, but we are jumping right into it on Night Market. So we'll see what these teams pull out here.
Yeah, Chikara Chatting had a really strong run through Otten City Underground a couple of days ago with Shianzu in the midfield, Juliet taken away from Apabug, Zentara from Twisty, no surprises there. But Chikara Chatting actually managed to defeat three Nassel teams during that run and came within 1 point of defeating Bozo Bunch twice. Unable to win the tournament, but it was such a breath of fresh air for Chikara Chatting. They're 4-2, but that looked like a Nassel team, and we'll see if they can keep it up today. Xeno Gemini on this Kazan goalie. I'm not sure if he's played that before, but it's always an interesting one to see. And we do have a spark in this starter. Evil Drew Danger and Twisty with that spark of strength, hoping for leadership to come up. Everyone else has the built different. And that seems pretty standard for a night market game with these characters.
Yeah, pretty much. I point out the Kazan goalie. I think I've seen Xeno play it at least once before, so it is on the roster. But I mean, he's got the build different start, so there's potential for a lot of damage to come out from the side of Core Requiem. But of course, Shianzu on the now. Should be able to, keep a fair bit of healing up. Appa has the Van Brace up as well, so if going for kills is Core Requiem's end game, they might have some trouble doing it. Maybe have to rely on some drafts here, but so far, only one barrier going down for each side. Is energy coming up for both teams here as well. Core Requiem just holding it in that top corner so well on the defense. Striker Kai is staggered here. Coreflip comes out from Shianzu. Will be able to secure a barrier as Appa just keeps Striker Kai out of the play. Coreflip from Evil Drew Danger doesn't quite get to Appa Bug. The whiffs the Coreflip a little bit too early, but the goal is open now in this overtime as Evil Drew Danger dribbling, sending it over to Appa. Wins the strike war against Xeno Gemini, as Chikara Chatting will earn the first point here.
That's exactly the sort of thing that we saw on Friday from Alphabug and Shianzu. The spacing that they have when they are vertically fighting for the enemy's barriers. Watch that. Look how their movement is so smooth. The distance that Shianzu keeps from Alphabug to just keep feeding the core back up there, that is really good coordination, and that was only their first tournament, so I can't wait to see where it comes from here. Drew does end up losing a barrier, and Chatting is the ones who cannot actually clear it out for a long time, but Shianzu heals back up. Appa gets a barrier, and we're back to 1-1. The night market a little slow on the first couple of sets before everyone's got their awakenings.
Yeah, both teams keeping it pretty solid here and relatively tame first set, but Xeno Gemini, the only one with a core flip up at the moment. Shianzu trying to pass it up to Appa Bug, but Xeno holding it down with the strike wars, bringing out that hook to keep the control up. Appa brings out the pass splitter, but the core is not quite up in his face just yet as we enter this overtime. And a little roundabout shot right there, get it past Xeno Gemini, right, able to pick up that first barrier. Appa goes for the core flip into the corner. It's a little too high, but going to force Xeno Gemini to bring out a core flip of his own, trying to send it up to Twisty, but Shianzu sends it right back. Now Striker Kai trying to dribble up the field, but Shianzu once again in the midfield dribbles it all the way back, forces out Striker Kai's core flip, and it will allow Twisty to bring down a barrier here, though. Evil Drew Danger, though, does have a core flip in the back pocket. So does Shianzu, trying to get it up to Applebug. Goes for the shot off the primary, bounces off the wall, but right back to Shianzu, who's going to just core flip it in for the point as Chatting bring it to set point.
Great awareness from Xianzu there, putting it in right past Striker Kai. The energy situation is a little bit low for everyone, really. Twisty's almost there, Drew Danger is there, but it's going to be a while, and everyone else is core flipped. But it doesn't look like Chatting really needs them, and you know what? Neither does Core Requiem. One barrier apiece in the first 10 seconds or so. Means this is the fastest we've seen a point go for a little while, but it'll probably settle down here as Xianzu tries to get in the middle of Striker Kai and Twisty. Twisty notably still level 2 right now, looking to get those touches in to get those levels, but Chikara Chatting has had such priority that it's getting a little bit more difficult for him. Finally hits that level 3. But the core is back up there again from Chatting, and there is a great kill from Appabug on Striker Kai, putting him out, opening the barrier, and this looks good for Chikara Chatting.
Yeah, potentially a big push here coming out. Energy is up. Xianzu will find the now primary and just sink it right in. And yeah, you point out the levels. Until Appa got that KO, it was Xianzu and Striker Kai who were pretty much level gapping everyone, and it was just a battle over the midfield, really. But going into this draft now, Monumentalist is on the board for that now, but there is also 2 Sparks available, and with Spark of Winning still floating out there, investing into the long game could be good. Xianzu will go for the Monumentalist, though, as Spark will go over to Striker Kai and Evil Drew Danger here. Demolitionist for the Kazan. Pretty nice size if it does go around. Get a little bit of cooldown back. Fighter Flight on Appabug. Should be pretty nice here, as well as it's going to be a Deadeye pickup here for Twisty. Which
Twisty didn't have anything to pick from there. That Spark denial, despite there being 2 Sparks up, was really key from Striker Kai. They still want to be able to kill this Chatting roster. But if Resilience got over to Evil Drew Danger, that would be the killer at one, at least in their minds, for the Spark of Leadership. The issue is that they gave him agility instead, so Drew gets to do his favorite thing, zoom around his half of the field even more, frankly, and just keep pushing up, be the third forward sometimes. But Striker Kai, Xeno Gemini actually hooked Appabug out of the way there, got rid of him, no more of that. But Drew and Xianzu have combined to protect the barrier, kill the power play, and Xianzu even got the barrier in return.
Yeah, it was a pretty big KO onto Appa, but their defense is pretty stellar here. Xeno Gemini does have a core flip up, but going into overtime now, it's going to be a big chance for Chikara to be able to score this one as Evil Drew Danger, sending it back up to this top side of the map. Seems to be favored at the moment. Does have a core flip in the back pocket. Going to burn it right here, send it all the way around to Appa. Xeno able to use the Kazan special to get out of there for now, but Twisty just can't quite secure this barrier, and there we go with the X Maximus. Will bring it down. Both goals open now. Core flip from Striker Kai. It's blocked by Evil Drew Danger. The soup comes out and sends it all the way back up to Xianzu. Striker Kai tries to send it back over to Twisty in the bottom corner, but can't get it through all 3 members of Chikara Chatting. Evil Drew Danger pushing up just a little bit, trying to get this core into the hands of Appabug. Xianzu sending it through the midfield. The pass splitter comes out, but Twisty in the bottom corner brings out the flourish into core flip, baits out the log, and great patience from Twisty to get it through Evil Drew Danger, as Core Requiem will put themselves on the board.
Yeah, Drew has been holding it down so well. He's such a good defensive goalie, but Twisty finally got the better of him there. While I was talking about that, though, Chikara Chatting quickly, both barriers down within the first 5 seconds of this point. A lot of pressure on Core Requiem to do more with this first point that they've scored. Xianzu, though, flips it, and Xeno Gemini doesn't flip in return. Doesn't manage to get that one out. Appabug puts it in, and that's 1-1 in this set.
Yeah, always a bit of a tough situation there early in the set when you're down such a barrier advantage like that, like if it's worth even saving the flip or not. But both barriers coming down very quick by Chikara Chatting, and Appa's just gonna be able to flip it right in, as now it's a very dangerous situation for Core Requiem, and Zito might have to consider using that flip a little bit sooner next time should that position be brought up again. But Evil Drew Danger immediately dropping the Dubu ult on kickoff to get an early bit of momentum here, is now pushing this top side. Striker Kai taking a lot of damage, but able to clear it out They will lose one barrier here. Xeno Gemini sending it over to the top side now, but Xianzhu and Appa immediately there to respond and keep the offense going. Xianzhu and Striker Kai in this midfield just trying to keep it going, and there it is. Xianzhu getting it up to Appa Bug. Will bring down this barrier as a big push coming in. Core flip from Xeno Gemini sends it all the way around. Will score a barrier off of that as well. And now back up to Twisty Evil Drew Danger with the roll, though, trying to clear it out. Core flips on the barrier line to send it out of there. Xeno Gemini sending it right back up in the corner. Xianzhu and Appa Bug, though, are pushing it hard. Core flip comes out from Striker Kai, but it's not enough to get it through. Xianzhu still in this midfield, just keeps sending it right back up to Appa Bug, giving him so many chances to try and score. Xeno Gemini and Striker Kai holding up for dear life, but it's not enough. Appa Bug with the Asher primary will be able to sink it through the Kazan hook as Chikara Chatting take their second set.
Core Requiem cannot get the core past Xianzhu. That's the story of this game so far. Xianzhu just feeds it back up to Appa, back up to Appa, back up to Appa, and, you know, just, it's fine. In Twin Drive to go with this Monumentalist, it's so difficult for them. And even now, Striker Kai denied Spark of Leadership. There's the deny also by Xeno Gemini, not even letting Drew Danger get to a third Spark. But now you just have single Spark on Xeno. You do get some more resilience with Kai, with the Spark and the Leadership, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. I don't see how that is the answer to Xianzhu with Twin Drive Monumentalist taking complete control of the midfield.
Yeah, it was a very tough draft there for Core Requiem. That Spark of Leadership is unfortunately just not going to be doing too much, but they didn't have a choice. They had to deny it, and we'll see if Chatting able to make big plays off of these new awakenings they have. So far, the classic story, one barrier to one barrier, 30 seconds in. Both teams kind of holding it down like they were the first set, but Appa has a core flip up now, and Able Drew Dangerous needs to get it past Twisty. There we go, sends it up, immediately core flips for that barrier, brings it down, and now big push coming out. Xianzhu and Appa in this top corner. Looks like it will be warded off by Core Requiem for now, but Evil Drew Dangerous going to send it right back in there, and now Xianzhu with the core flip tries to send it up to Appa Bug. Striker Kai is there to intercept it, and now Striker Kai is the one with the core flip, sends it in, but Evil Drew Danger brings out the soup, and it shuts that down completely. Xeno does have a core flip in the back pocket, and so does Evil Drew Danger here, but we are in overtime, and Core Requiem's goal is open. Xianzhu in this bottom corner, bringing out the now secondary. Striker Kai able to get it back through. Core flip from Evil Drew Danger, sends it straight up, dribbles it, but Twisty with the X Maximus is going to be able to bring down the barrier in a strike war there. Xeno Gemini trying to get it out of this top corner now, away from Appa Bug, get it over to Twisty, and with a bull rush is going to be able to send it through. Evil Drew Danger, as Core Requiem will score for the first time now in this set, but they are going to need a full reverse sweep to bring this game back.
Drew held it down for quite a while there, but again, really, Xianzhu is doing so much in the midfield. Twisty finally got that, and Twisty is level 5, standing right next to the level 9 Xianzhu. Twisty has benefits from the Spark of Resilience, and it's not showing. The stagger bars are almost the same because of how the scaling works. It's really tough for Core Requiem. The only point they've gotten there was just on a one-touch, essentially. If it's stuck in the side of Chikara Chatting, they've almost always shown the ability to clear it. Xianzhu just keeps beating Twisty here, and Appa beats Striker Kai, gets rid of him, trying to get this last barrier pretty desperately, but there's another kill. Twisty's core flip takes Appa off just in time for Kai to come back, and we got a power play here for Core Requiem.
Yeah, hopefully they can make something happen here, but Twisty has barely been able to interact with this core most of the game. Still stuck at level 6. We'll bring down a barrier here, but it's still going to be kind of tough. This is the first time that Core Requiem have opened up Chatting before losing their own 2 barriers. You know, Gemini trying to send it up, but the suit from Evil Drew Danger is going to shut that play down as he passes back up to Xianzhu on the top side. Appa Bug going for this barrier from the top. It's going to get sent back down to the bottom, though. Xeno Gemini clearing it all the way out. Evil Drew Danger does have a core flip in the back pocket, and so does Xianzhu. So Chikara Chatting can definitely make something happen here, but this barrier is still standing. Xianzhu in the top corner will be able to bring it down finally now, bringing out the core flip immediately, but a great hook by Xeno. Keeps it out of the goal, but it doesn't matter anyway because Xianzhu is still able to keep the pressure up and find the point for Chikara Chatting.
Yeah, that was a great hook by Xeno Gemini, but it did not matter. It saved the moment, but not the point. Xianzu able to put it back in with one of those drones. It's it's so much pressure that Shikara Chatting is exerting in the midfield. Twisty is just not part of most of the game at this point. He's trying. There he is again, touching the core, and then there's Drew. Now it's gone. Appa has it. Xianzu's there, and it goes past midfield one time. Drew gets it. Xianzu's there again. It's just a pattern here, Lego.
Yeah, I mean, they're just finding the clear every single time. Say that you want your goalie to have the least amount of redirects because that means that every clear that they make is the most efficient one. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. Evil Drew Danger is just getting it out of these situations with like the minimal interactions required. Gonna spend a core flip here to send it all the way up and around, but Xianzu has just been everywhere that he needs to be in this midfield, just absolutely holding it down, keeping the offense going, keeping the defense up. But Twisty will find the KO against Xianzu here, which is their biggest problem. And core flip's going to come out. Won't secure anything, though. Oh, no. Sent it a little bit too wide of an angle, I think. They will bring down one barrier before Xianzu respawns, but that's all they're going to get as in overtime. Appabug is going to be pushing this top side hard. Twisty going for another barrier again, but once again, Evil Drew Danger just getting out of there. But off the rebound, Striker Kai will be able to send it over to Twisty. Corflip coming out from Appabug brings down another barrier, though, as both teams opened up here. The core over in Evil Drew Danger's hands. Going to pass it over to Xianzu once again. Appabug in this top corner now looking to strike where Xeno Gemini will be successful in doing that as Chikara Chatting brings it to match point.
Yeah, what a point there from Chatting, and it's not as if Core Requiem is playing this game poorly. They are playing quite well, but they are still simply being overwhelmed here. Xianzu is just not letting them get anything going in the midfield, and Drew keeps clearing it out so efficiently. Appa Bug trying to push forward. Xeno Gemini has to burn this core flip. Xianzu almost gets the barrier with that one, but it's still pushed right back up to Appa Bug, who gets the barrier himself. Dribbles it off the corner, dribbles it off the bottom, cannot quite guarantee it. And with the core flip here on Striker Kai and Evil Drew Danger, there might be some life here in Core Requiem, but now is the time to show it. And that's a great hook to show it with, but can you actually get it out and get this barrier?
Xeno Gemini making the saves of his life right here. Blocks this flip from Appabug, but Evil Drew Danger sending it in with another flip is blocked once again. Xeno Gemini has unlocked a new potential here, but they still need to be able to bring down this nice barrier and score. And with Appabug just absolutely staggering Xeno Gemini with that pass, it's going to allow Xianzu to just sink it right in as Chikara Chatting will take game one.
This Shikara Chatting roster is just working together so well. Xianzu is just getting the core up to Appa over and over and over again. And then when Appa isn't in a position to get that shot, they're just putting it down, and Appa is buying space for the shots of Xianzu. 4 goals for Xianzu, 5 for Appa. 4 assists for both of them. Appa involved in every goal that Chikara Chatting got in that game. And you notice the 67 saves for Xeno Gemini and 52 for Striker Kai. The core was just pushed into the side of Core Requiem for so much of that game. Twisty only had 87 redirects. Appa had 100, but Twisty just could not be a part of that game. He got 2 goals when he was, but what a performance here from Chatting.
Yeah, and it's hard to even mention the 102 shots that Xianzu had, which is it's more than the entirety of Core Requiem combined. And 265 save, more than the entirety of Chikara Chatting, or redirects, more of more than Chikara Chatting combined. So Xianzu just absolutely shut Twisty out of that match, and those are some pretty crazy numbers that I'm looking at. But if they keep this up, it's going to be a pretty solid blowout win from Chikara Chatting. But We'll have to see. Core Requiem, of course, can always bring it back. This is Omega Strikers, and anything can happen, as it looks like Game 2 as well is going to be going to Gates of Obscura, the new and improved Gates of Obscura. A little bit different from Night Market, so we'll see if Core Requiem is able to pull it out on this map.
Yeah, I think it should be easier for them. This is notably Gates of Obscura is one of those maps where midfield is supposedly weaker, and Night Market is one of those where you can be quite strong. That Monumentalist pickup in the first set, Xianzhu getting that really just meant that those the Skittle drones were just so impactful, covered a whole lane, didn't really let anything past. A lot of draft luck there for Chikara chatting, to be clear, but they you can get draft luck and play badly, and they did not do that. Core Requiem will need that draft luck on their side this time. But Obscura is a much more open map, so in theory it should be a little bit easier for them to get it around Xianzhu, especially with those portals on the sides.
Yeah, Gates bit less of a midfield map for sure. Can definitely be kind of a goalie map. How good is your goalie at getting out of like tough situations and whatnot? But we'll just have to see how they end up utilizing these portals here as well. It makes a lot of opportunities uh for wonky things, interesting clears, interesting passes and whatnot. So we'll have to see how it ends up going. And it looks like we got word as well that the Gates map is actually Chikara Chatting's pick. So they're looking to have the map advantage here regardless.
Yeah, it's Chatting's pick. I don't take back anything I said. They beat Bozo Bunch on Gates on Friday, to be clear, which means Night Market. It doesn't really feel good for Requiem to pick Night Market and
Yeah.
then get slammed like that. But it's just going to be interesting. Not all the teams have really got practice in on this new Gates map. Not all the people have practice in on this Gates map. So I wonder if there's the experience that Core Requiem need to deal with these new little isosceles triangle barriers and the portals just on the side.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure to see how they approach it. I'm curious to see what the goalie pick is going to be here as well. I haven't seen Kazan goalie on this map, but I want to say that it's probably not the best pick. I think that's usually like the night market thing that we've seen from Xeno Gemini most of the time. But curious to see where that ends up going. Curious to see what of course, the awakenings and whatnot will really matter. And the bans, of course, like last time they banned the Juliet from Appa, but do they take that back and say, okay, maybe we should ban like now against Xianzhu, or even like, even dare to say like Rune or something, which could be kind of a problem on that map. So I think that could definitely is going to be a big part of what happens here.
At this level, with only one ban, it's really, really hard to actually make it impactful sometimes. If you get rid of the Julie ban to get rid of the now from Xianzhu instead, we've seen Xianzhu play Era pretty well also, and then you've given Oppabug Juliet, and you don't want to give Oppabug Juliet, but maybe you want to give Oppabug Juliet on this map. You might not even pick it. You might pick Azure because it's the map to just push forward with the Asher primary and the ultimate, the path splitter, and I don't remember the other one. But we get Unstoppable built different as the starting awakenings. Unstoppable is a really interesting one. Have you played with it much, Lego?
We've played with it a little bit. I don't. I
Oh,
want to
you're
say
right.
I don't think it's that great, but it is a now ban actually coming out against Xianzhu. Twisty Zentaro still gone and removed, so none of that today. But yeah, the new Unstoppable was kind of interesting. It's basically like a spell shield that kind of blocks like the first instance of damage and knockback, but then it has to like charge back up. So you can like hit them with like a say like a whiplash, like a Rasmus whiplash, and then hit them with the Rasmus hook to get them in, but it will block like potentially a one-hit KO thing. Though I imagine we're going to see a lot of built diff here.
I feel like we're gonna see a lot of built diff. There's the Era
Yeah.
coming out and the Julie, just like I was saying, and 6 built
Yeah,
difference,
6
just
built.
like we both thought. Unstoppable, a little too easy to remove with a single Kai Barrage bullet.
Yeah.
And movement speed and built difference for everyone makes a lot of sense to see, along with the 2 Dubus in goal.
Yeah, the Dubu mirror. Dubu definitely a very strong character on this map, always has been, and doesn't look like that has changed at all with the rework. Twisty back on that X once again, and of course Appa bringing out the signature Juliet. One barrier is down for Core Requiem, but Twisty will fire back with a barrier of his own as Appa goes for a dribble into dash, but Xeno with the roll will shut that down. The storm comes out from Xianzu, and the flurries from Appa to secure it. And with Appa's core flip up now, Chatting is looking like they could have a pretty good chance to score here. Xianzu passes right to him. Just going to flip it right into that top side as Chatting takes a pretty clean 0.1.
Appa just waited there, flipped it, waited for Xeno Gemini's strike to just be visual on the screen, knows he can hit it right then, puts it in. Pretty clean goal. Really good tornado there, and really good shrinks from Xianzu so far as well. When you're hitting 2 or 3 people with that ability, it's so efficient, and that is what Xianzu has been doing. There's another 3 people, I think, but the damage here from Xeno Gemini is also real. Uppabug is in a little bit of danger, but, you know, goes ahead and dunks Xeno Gemini before he dies, knows that that could happen, and it doesn't care. It's fine. And a great pass from Drew into the portal to Xianzu. Xianzu puts it in. Drew does his best to save it from the wrong goal, it seemed like there.
The goalie instincts kicking in, but good 2v2 play coming out from Chikara Chatting. Yeah, that was a great portal pass from Drew, and I imagine we'll see a lot more of that, as this game goes on. Already a barrier going down from the side of Requiem as Chatting pick up a second barrier here as well. Twisty potentially looking to get another one, but Evil Drew Danger just core flips it right through the portal, hits the perfect angle, and just takes the set just like that. 15 seconds in, so Chikara Chatting, Xianzu will be the MVP going into the first draft.
You know, Chatting looked really good in that first set, and that first game. And it's a little surprising to see them look even better on this map, but you know what? They like this map. They are pushing for it. They are pushing forward, and Castellas on Era, not as strong as it used to be, but that's still strong. Not letting Drew spark up either, and the team player from Xeno Gemini could be quite useful. But, you know, there's a 1-2 punch on Appabug, and that feels like they got pretty good awakenings for their forwards on the side of Chikara Chatting.
Yeah, definitely a pretty solid draft from Chatting here. Appa has taken a fair bit of damage, though, but Xeno Gemini and the members of Core Requiem will hold down that push pretty well. The barriers have not gone down just yet, but Evil Drew Danger sending it through the portal once again, trying to get it up there. Xeno Gemini able to clear it out as it's just going back and forth a little bit. Evil Drew Danger back through the portal here over to Appabug, but Xeno Gemini is just going to send it right back, and now it's Striker Kai with the barrage. Going to walk it up and grab the first barrier here. Xeno Gemini sending it back up into the pocket. Appabug able to get it out and through the portal from Xeno Gemini, but down on the bottom side, Xianzu pushing up hard, brings out the storm, and Appabug with the flurries now on the top side, but the barriers are still standing. Twisty is pretty hurt, though, just gonna have to play his life a little bit here. Appabug finds the KO, though, and now in the 2v3, Striker Kai and Xeno Gemini have to kind of hold it down for the next few seconds as Chatting are now looking to push this top corner hard. Evil Drew Danger walks up, brings out the soup, and the barrier does go down. Twisty back alive once again as the soup comes out from Xeno Gemini, saves the bottom barrier from Appabug here, but in overtime now, both teams at one barrier. I would say Chatting has played very well in these situations. Core Flip comes out from Striker Kai, but Evil Drew Danger, portal pass over to Xianzu. Xeno Gemini, though, sending it back up to Twisty as it goes through the portal twice and come back around to Appabug, who will secure the barrier. Twisty, though, firing back with a barrier of his own as both sides are open through the portal here up to Xianzu. In the top corner, Appabug finds the KO onto Xeno Gemini with a pass from Xianzu. The point as well as Chatting still asserting their dominance in this game.
Every time I see Drew hit the core into the portal, Xianzu or Appa is on the other portal, ready to receive it. Great kill there from Drew with the Tofu Fortress. But the passing plays, the awareness of when you need to be on the other side of these portals is really, really high for Chatting. I haven't seen quite the same thing from the side of Core Requiem, but it doesn't matter. Twisty does get a barrier here, but both are already down for the side of Core Requiem. Drew has Core Flip and is hovering and trying to find something nice to do with it.
Yeah, and Twisty unable to get anything off of that push either. Appabug and Xianzu just up in position here, looking for the point. Core Flip from Evil Drew Danger is going to send it right down to Appabug, fighting Xeno Gemini, able to pass it up to Striker Kai and clear it out, but Twisty still unable to secure that barrier against Evil Drew Danger's clears. Going to try once more, but the Soup's going to come out and just shut it down. Striker Kai passing it up, and with a Giga Blast will bring the barrier down, but now in the hands of Xianzu with the dribble, sending it up to Appabug. The Soup from Xeno Gemini is going to shut that down as it goes to Striker Kai and up to Twisty, who will find the point in overtime as Core Requiem able to put themselves on the board. But these sparse points that they've been getting this series, it's just not going to be enough. They need to find a way to make this consistent. They will have a bit of an energy advantage going into this set, but we'll see if it ends up actually being enough. Twisty, unfortunately, burnt the Core Flip, but so does Xeno Gemini, and like that, the energy advantage is gone. They find a KO here, but Xianzu has a Core Flip, and Chatting has been able to hold it down so well that it just probably won't even matter. Core Flip from Striker Kai is blocked as Xianzu just Core Flips it right back, and just like that, we've reset as Appabug is alive again, and the cards are once again back in the favor of Chikara Chatting.
Oh no. Chatting with an advantage here after that kill onto Twisty. Xianzu's a little bit low, but has the time to set up this tornado, chew through Kai, let Appabug do that. Dash punch Xeno with no chance. 2-1 to Chikara Chatting. It's gonna be... It's still tough. We're seeing that level disadvantage start to accrue again. Twisty's level 4, Appabug is level 6, for example. Xianzu is just hitting 7. Chatting just has so much core control with this era that this Kai is providing, it seems like. It's really hard for me to identify what the point is where Chikara Chatting is really getting ahead, because all of the players are playing so well. That log setup into the portal from Evil Drew Danger, the tornado to follow up Appabug in the net. The second set goes to Chikara Chatting, and that's 3 great ability usages from all of the players of Chikara Chatting, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. And Monumentalist again. Oh no.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, a lot of neat things here on the board. You got Extra Special, Monumentalist. Looks like Rapid Fire pickup for Xianzu, though. So more of that beam. Knife's Edge going over to Xeno Gemini. The Spark here for Appabug is the first spark that he's gotten, but it will deny it from Striker Kai, who opts for the Extra Special. Quick Strike on Evil Drew Danger, and Hot Shots will end up falling down to Twisty.
What a draft there from Chatting, actually. I was immediately baited by that Monumentalist, and I feel like a lot of eras would have been too, but the way Chatting played that draft out, they only let Twisty get a Hot Shot. Not really anything that's going to help him. This problem is getting the core in the first place. But while I'm talking about that, a great kill onto Xianzu, and both barriers down with the pressure from Striker Kai and Twisty, and that is how they can turn this game around. But both barriers go down for Chatting almost as quickly, and it's really hard for Core Requiem to do that much in this game. Appa just waiting with the core, walks it all the way up there, waits for Zeno to use an ability, puts it in the net, and Chatting have a lead in what could be the last set of this match.
Yeah, Chatting are absolutely dominating in this series so far, and now with Evil Drew Danger having a core flip up, it's going to be very difficult for Requiem to be able to bring it back in this round, I think. One barrier going down here as the push continues. Appa Bug and Shianzu just keeping the hard pressure on. The storm comes out, deals so much damage to Core Requiem and gets the barrier here as a core flip comes out from Twisty. They will get a kill onto Appa Bug and stall it out a little bit, but Shianzu and Evil Drew Danger still up here with energy. Core flip passed up to Shianzu. Doesn't go in yet, but sending it through the portal once again. Shianzu going for the dribble. Zeno with the roll, though, is going to send it all the way around. And Twisty hits it with a bull rush, but it goes at just the wrong angle, so no barriers will go down. Zeno Gemini forced to core flip here. Sends it through the portal, but it goes back to Shianzu. Going to send out the soup to save it and get it back up to Twisty. That's what it was meant to do the first time, but they will bring down one barrier here, and they're looking for a second one, but Evil Drew is able to clear it back down to the rest of Chatting, and Applebug with the flurries up into Shianzu's core flip is going to be enough to bring Chikara Chatting to match point.
That was great awareness from Shianzu and Appabug. Appa getting it straight out to where it needed to be. Shion right there, putting it in, not letting them get a chance. Twisty is small again. Shianzu is level 8. Twisty has caught up in levels quite a bit, but they've got bigger problems to worry about. Their goal is already open 20 seconds in. It's on the same side as Appabug and Shianzu. That Tofu Fortress is going to hold 4 now, but Shianzu just puts it through the portal, and Drew has this core flip, doesn't even need it, just passes it up to Shianzu again. Appabug in the net, core flip used by Striker Kai. One barrier does go down, but Drew doesn't use core flip either. There's the core flip, there's Appabug dribbling it. The goal is open, but it does not matter. Dash punch from Appabug puts this set away, puts this game away, puts this match away. Chatting 2-0 over Core Requiem, and Shianzu MVP both games, it looks like.
Absolute blowout win here from Chikara Chatting. They played pretty incredible. Shianzu, of course, as well. Once again, outshotting and out redirecting everyone in the lobby and getting more shots than the entire enemy team combined twice in a row now. Absolutely insane. Deserved MVPs on both of those. And yeah, like we were saying earlier, Core Requiem, they played well, but what do you do against this when Shianzu is putting up numbers like this back to back to back?
How do you even do that? Shianzu had 121 redirects and 78 shots. That's almost 3/4 of Shianzu's redirects were shots. That's bonkers. Drew had 42 saves in that game. Drew didn't need to do much. He held it down when it got back there. They got one goal. Twisty got it in one time. But, oh, gosh, the passes through the portals were so good from Chikara. It was so strong. They looked so good. They looked like they could win.
They looked very, very solid. They clearly know how to play that map. Their portal game was on point. Core Requiem struggled a little bit on that front, had a few not so great portal passes. At least once it ended up going right back to Chikara Chatting off of a portal pass. So definitely not their map, but they still played well. It was just an insane performance from Chikara Chatting today to just absolutely sweep it like this. I mean, this is pretty crazy. Like, this team is actually looking like suddenly one of the best contenders here at this point. I'm curious to see how they end up taking it in weeks to come.
They beat 3 Nassel teams on Friday, and then they made another 4-2 team, likely going to the playoffs, look like a solo queue squad. that's what happened today, and it's so good. They just look so good. I'm excited to see. I don't know if Shianzu is staying with this roster or what, but Shianzu looked really, really, really good. And Alpha Bug and Evil Drew Danger looked like when they made it to Nassel. That's all I can really say about that.
Yeah, I think the stats speak for themselves, but with that, that's going to be the end of NASA for today. Chikara chatting, taking it with an absolute sweep. So, you have anything else to say?
Uh, have fun. Good luck. Participate
Yeah,
in the
good luck.
raid.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.